Election 2011 coverage on Manx Radio. Brought to you by PDMS.
Well, this morning we're talking with one of those hoping to secure re-election in the Douglas constituency of Douglas North, if you see what I mean. Bill-Henderson, 49, Manx educated, trained as a psychiatric nurse and also in stress management, which I suppose is quite useful in politics, particularly at this time. Became an MHK in 1998 as an independent, has served in a number of departments, was Agriculture Minister in 2004-2005, currently in the Social Care Department as a member. Good morning, Mr.
Moromai, John, and moromai to our listeners too.
In the past, it's been very much a two-man act up in North Douglas. Is that going to continue with whoever wins the election?
Well, I'm not so sure, John. We have to wait till September the 29th for that, but certainly if myself and John Horton are re-elected, the constituency pledge is that the teamwork for the constituency will carry on. Obviously, it's been very effective.
Do you think it's important that MHKs work as pairs, if there is a pair of them?
Well, or in such as Onken or Russian, we have 3 MHKs, but the point is, for constituency matters, you've got to have your MHKs working together, especially for big issues such as law and order, road safety and so on, and it's proved very effective. When we get to the national issues in Tynwald, Mr Horton's got his own national portfolio, as I have, and we work our separate ways as far as that's concerned.
Obviously, you're very much in evidence as a constituency MHK. You were a minister for a while, for a short period. You were sacked, basically, weren't you?
I certainly was. The period of tenure went on for about 12 months, and during that time, of course, we had the MEA scandal that unfolded on top of the island, and I was very vociferous in the Council of Ministers with regards to that.
Why were you given the elbow?
I didn't fit in with the caretaker chief minister at the time, Donald Gelling. As I say, I was very vociferous. I'm not one of these people who kowtows or toes the party line. I'm not a yes man, and I was put in the people's view into the Council of Ministers, and some of them were very uncomfortable with that.
But would you be able to achieve more if you were actually inside the Council of Ministers?
Well, that's an old chestnut that's quite often thrown around, John, and the point is...
It's true, isn't it?
No, I don't believe so, and I think my track record will speak for itself, as for others such as John Horton and Peter Carron, Brenda Cannell. You can be... The thing is to get yourself elected. Working in the House of Keys and working in Tynwald is a very effective method of scrutinising the Council of Ministers, putting them under pressure, and of course you can bring your own debates, your own questions, and influence government policy, which is the thing that I most want to do.
Well, let's talk about government policy. Decisions ahead, spending decisions ahead. If cuts had to be made and you were Chief Minister and the role is available, where would you take those cuts?
Well, there's many areas in government which we can still see savings can be made. And the first thing, we've got to look at the capital projects programme. I know we've got to keep some government spending going for the building industry, but we see fiascos such as the £3 million spend on Richmond Hill. I voted against that. We see the £2 million spend on Ramsey Pier. I voted against that.
So, Ramsey Pier, what would you do with Ramsey Pier?
Being Chief Minister is... I've often said it, there has to be a direction from the Chief Minister to prioritise these things. And even if we look at the government's carbon footprint, people are saying, oh, it's just a green strapline. But in fact, when you look at the waste of energy and other things that go on within government, some considerable savings can be made there.
Who would you like to see lead the next administration?
It's a good question, John. There's many good people within Tynwald. We've got good people such as Anne Crane, Alan Bell's heading up the Department of
Anne Crane?
No, you asked me who the good people are, and indeed the Speaker of the House of Keys, Mr Roden, has done a very good job as our Speaker. So we'll just have to see, John, to be quite honest, who puts their name forward after the general... Well, it depends on who gets back first, and then who puts their name forward for...
Do you think they should put their names forward now so people at the hustings are aware as someone wants to be Chief Minister?
Yeah, if anyone's aspiring to that, yes, sure, they should be honest with the electorate. However, it did backfire on one candidate last time, and I was a little disappointed because I had great respect for John Shimon for doing that because he was honest. And I think really people should respect that. And yes, definitely, if you're going to go for Chief Minister post, you should let your constituents know about it.
Mr Henderson, thank you very much indeed. Bill-Henderson, who is standing for the constituency of Douglas North on the election, which is...
Thanks very much, John.
On September the 29th. It's 8 o'clock.